Okay, so I told myself that I would not update you guys on my reading progress of Zenith until I was like a significant amount of the way through, which, spoiler, it's the next day since my last update. And I haven't gotten very far. I'm on like page 33, and I wouldn't be doing this update because there's a lot of things that have irritated me so far. I already got, you probably can't see these, but I have a lot of tabs here. I think there's like 7 or 8. But Deck has mentioned this place where they're going to meet General Cortaz, and it's nowhere on this map, so I can only assume that it's like a capital city or something. But at this point, there have been so many planets mentioned and like nothing of real context or substance to them. It's like mentioning that they went from this planet to this planet, they did a job on this planet, and it's like we know nothing about these planets. Nothing at all. I don't know if this place is supposed to be an actual planet, if it's supposed to be a city, if it's supposed to be the name of a space station. And in all honesty, after the problems I've had so far, just that little bit annoys the hell out of me. I don't even know how to say this frickin' word. Avria? That's the best way I can think to pronounce that. And it's just, what, the straw that broke the camel's back, is that what people say? That's what it is. It's like, of all the irritating things I've come across in the past 30 plus pages, this was just one thing too many. And I'll tell you, I read until page 25, which this book starts on page 9. Why? I don't know. But it starts on page 9, and to get to only 25, and just, we're in the middle of this big chase scene, and I got bored. So I literally put the book down, and I went and read fan fiction, which was a lot more interesting. And I was thinking to myself, since I'm bored, I don't need to keep reading it tonight. I just need to stop. Because if I'm bored, this is going to, like, if the story picks up, it's that little, like, piece of boredom that I had is going to ruin the rest of the book for me. So I was like, I will take a break from it, I will go read some fan fiction, and I'll come back to it the next day, and hopefully it'll get better. Which, like, I've only read like 6 pages so far, if that. I don't know how many pages I don't know how many pages I got to. All I know, I haven't read much, and I'm still bored. But I'm currently in Dex's point of view, so that can be it. I've heard a lot of people say that he's a horrible character, and I can kind of see, I really, really see it, but I don't know if it's just he's a horrible person, or if his lines are really cringy. I think that's my main problem with him. And also, this boy, I know everybody's talked about this boy with the webbed feet and everything, but it said he had reptilian nostrils and yellow eyes. And the only imagery I get from this, along with webbed feet, is he's a frog. I know we don't get a description of anything else on him, so all I'm picturing is this human boy with slits for nostrils, yellow eyes, and webbed feet. But it's taking everything in me to picture this boy as a human-sized frog, because I tell you, the only other image in my mind that pops up when I hear this description is Voldemort with webbed feet. And that's not a good image. Before I end this little update and read some more, something I did say I wasn't going to do, I don't know if I said it in a video, but I told myself I wasn't going to do this. But I said I wasn't going to do a review for this book. But I almost feel like I have to now. Because even though, well, one, for 30-some pages, I've already taken a lot of notes on this book. But I also started a second page for terms that we are given no context to, and that I really have no clue what they are. But out to the side, I did write like what I thought they could be. So I'll probably will end up doing a review for this, just because there's a lot of problems that I've had with the book so far that I know other people have had, but I've also had quite a few other problems that I've heard nobody mention. So I really do want to, I may just discuss the problems I had and no one else has, brought up, or I may just include all of it. It really depends on my mindset after I finish this book, because right now, my mindset isn't good. I don't have high expectations for this book, so hopefully I will find a middle ground soon and I can just really start enjoying the book. Until then, I will see you guys later. Okay, so I've read quite a bit since I last updated you guys. I don't know, I think I was on like page 30 maybe, I don't know, I'm on like page 80. I just got done reading a Lyra chapter and then a Nord chapter, my first of both, and I have to say I enjoyed reading both of those chapters, but I do have a little bit of a problem. Well, I had Alfie for one. I expected the AI to like be a part of the ship, not to be a humanoid body, just mechanical, and it's like, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't really like it, but at the same time, it's like we barely got to see him, so I'm holding out hope that this is like something that I just haven't seen in the sci-fis I've read, and I'll really enjoy it. I'm holding out hope, but at the moment I really don't like the thought of a humanoid AI like walking around, and like I really don't like it. As for the Nord chapter, I was really into it up until the part where the servant girl comes in, mainly because just the writing style. I know Sasha and Lindsay like wrote the chapters together, not like one person wrote this and then another person wrote that. It's like they blended their writing together, and I'm guessing that this is where one of them picked up for the other, and it's just the writing just got really weird, and it's just, that's just aggravating. But the most aggravating part about this chapter is she's talking about her planet dying and them not having the resources and stuff to sustain her people, but for some reason she thought it was a good idea to get a solid gold prosthetic hand, when she could have used the money for that solid gold prosthetic hand and gotten food for her people. I mean, yes, she wouldn't have been able to feed all of them with this one golden hand, but it just makes me so mad that she thought it was a good idea to get this when all the people are starving. It's like, just do without a hand if nothing else. Or if you actually need a hand, get a plastic one. Don't get one that's gonna cost like an arm and a leg, literally. But yeah, I'm currently on page 82, about to start another Andy chapter, and we're gonna see how that goes, I guess. Okay, so I was under the impression that this was young adult, but the age of the characters feel new adult, and by age of the characters, I'm only assuming that these characters are like in their early 20s, because if not, if they're like 17 years old, Dex just said that Andy was a lot more fun 3 years ago, and then on the next page, she's talking about how they used to be and how she used to love his eyes, the unspoken words in their depths, the feel of his skin against hers during their passionate nights. Excuse me? If you guys haven't seen each other in 3 years and you're 17, let's say you're 17 or 18 at this point, 14 or 15 years old, I feel like is too young to be doing that in any shape or form. Even 16 is like pushing it, but I can see 16-year-olds doing this. So like 19 is the youngest I see these characters right now. And I don't know, I just want to know like how old they are, because this is like seriously like irritating me, because it's like all of these sexual innuendos and everything, and it's just like, how old were you when this was going on? Because you had to be like a certain age for this stuff to be okay. Okay, so I just finished reading chapter 13, which was a flashback in Dex's point of view, and I have to say, even though I have no clue how to pronounce the planet's name, or a couple of things are kind of confusing, like I don't know what kind of animal it's describing, like in that first paragraph, it's very confusing. But other than that, oh, that and the fact that, is there only one currency in this entire galaxy? Because if so, that's highly unrealistic. I can see like one main form of currency that would work on every planet, but every planet should, or at least every solar system, should have like their own different form of currency. Or have no currency and have it like where they barter with stuff or something like that. I mean, I don't, it seems highly unrealistic to me that they all just use this one form of currency. I don't know, it's irritating, but it's not irritating enough that it's like taking my enjoyment from the story. But anyways, I just got done reading chapter 13, the flashback in Dex's point of view, and we learned that he's 17 in this flashback. So that makes him, in the present, 21 years old. So, and he didn't really describe Andy as anything as other than a street rat that's really underfed. So, I mean, I'm assuming that she's the same age as well, because if we think about that though, and she's 17, well, we don't know how long she's been a street rat. I mean, this is telling Dex's point of view. We don't know how long she's been there. I don't know if we ever will find out how long she was a street rat. So, in this scenario, I am assuming that she's around 15 or 16 when she was, what's her name? Kaylee? I don't know how you say your name. I've been saying Kaylee. But anyways, I'm assuming that she's like 15 or 16 when all of that happened, which seems to be young, but there was the webbed-feeted boy, you know, the Voldemort/Frog person at the beginning of the book was like 15, and he was a patrolman, new on the job, but he was a patrolman. So even though it seemed like her job would have been like 10 times more important and she would have had to go to school a lot longer to achieve the position she got, I mean, I guess it kind of fits, and she wasn't like too young, and I guess by their standards. Hey guys, this is actually my third time filming this little update for you guys. I'm just gonna start off by saying that it's not the 31st, it's actually like 1 something on January 29th. I started this vlog on the 14th, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I am super tired and I have a monster headache. So I'm gonna keep this short, sweet, and to the point. I have read 180 pages of Zenith. I'm on chapter 29 right now, and I'm not going to be vlogging any more of my reading experience for this book, mainly because I would be turning on the camera every 5 to 20 minutes ranting and bitching about something, and I am just so fed up. So when I started this vlog, I had no intention of doing a discussion or book talk or review or anything of the like for Zenith. I will be doing that now because I had so many problems with this book, and I think very few of them actually had to do with the science fiction aspect of the book. There was just so many problems that I saw that if it had been in any book, I would have just stopped reading it at this point. I think 13% of the way through the book, according to Goodreads, and I seriously considered DNFing it. I seriously did. The fact that I've put so many hours into reading this book, and I am only this far into it, and I have tabbed the ever-living hell out of this book, and I'm still nowhere. I still have over 300 pages left to read, and I'm just so tired and so bored. I think that's like my main criticism right now that I can actually tell you guys is I'm bored. The only tense moment we had was broken up by, I think, a Claren chapter. It's like we had a tense moment, Claren chapter, then back to the action. And that was aggravating. And other than that, there's been no tension in this book. This book lacks all tension. It lacks all kinds of tension. It lacks all kind of action. Even the action scenes, while well written, are not very action-packed. They don't have me reading the book and wanting to know what happens next. I'm not rushing through the pages trying to find out what's going to happen next. No, I am just frickin' bored. I'm this far into the book. There's 3 days left to January. I don't think I'm going to finish it in January. I will be reading the book to completion as long as it doesn't trigger any kind of anxiety or depression in me. You guys know I have a lot of anxiety and depression issues, and I haven't actually, this month has been good. I've only had 1 day where I've been like seriously depressed, and since I'm not on any medication, that is like the best thing that's happened to me. This is a great way to start the year. But unless the book does something like that to me, I will be completing the book. I will read every page of this book. That being said, my intentions when I started this book were to just read it, take it for what it was, DNF it if I wasn't going to like it. But I've had so many problems with the book that I feel the need that I need to make a discussion for the book. And before anybody like jumps on the hate of me for making a reviewer discussion for this book, the book's been out for over a year. Get over it. I'm going to talk about how much I do not like the book. And like I said, I'm not even 200 pages in, so I may grow to like the book, at least the second half, because actually I don't even know where the halfway point of this book is. I usually do try to figure out where the halfway point is, so it's like, yay, halfway through the book. But I didn't do that with this book. I've just had a lot of problems with it. And I will say right now that the majority of those problems I feel are editing issues. These are things that could have been taken care of with proper editing. So I don't blame one of the writing styles. I can tell when one author is writing and the other, and I don't know which one's which. It's been a while since I've read The Murder Complex by Lindsay Cummings, but I don't know which one's which. But the one that's really poetic and flowery and really deep and stuff is really getting on my nerves. And half the things that they write makes no sense to me. I'm trying to picture it in my mind. I'm trying to like just grasp what they're trying to convey, and it's just not working out. So besides a lot of things I felt could have been fixed in editing and that one particular writing style, I mean, I'll have to go into detail in my review about all the issues I have. But I mean, it's small things that I 100% think could have been fixed with proper editing. But like I was saying, the book's been out for over a year now. If people want to say in the comments that I am just making a review to get attention and to get my subscribers up since I'm such a small booktuber, all I can say is go ahead and make your comments. It doesn't change the fact that I, so far, have not liked this book, and I am going to make a discussion whether you like it or not. Whether you choose to watch it is completely up to you. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching this, and wish me luck. I'm seriously gonna need it. Goodbye!